one of the craziest things I know, we even put parts with taxi to Ireland.
Really?
Really.
So if there's a really big emergency and the part really needs to be got somewhere very quick, you can sort it out as direct as that.
Yeah.
Ladies and gentlemen, hello and welcome along to episode 2 of our look at the icon that is the Krone Big X self-propelled forage harvester. So in this episode, it's all about the making of the icon. So we're going to get stuck into the production of this machine. And to kick off, I'm now joined by Thomas Weissman, and we are on the production line of the Big X. We're going to go from one end, start to finish, all the way down there of the Big X, and we're going to see all the processes that are involved along the way. So, Thomas, first of all, just quickly, tell us who you are, your role at Krone.
Okay, I'm the general manager of the production side here at Krone since 2 years now. So responsible for the production and responsible for the Big X in this part of the interview. Yeah.
Big job for the big machine.
Interesting job, I would say.
Yeah, but it's an interesting job, a challenging one sometimes as well.
Exactly, that's the other way, but that makes it interesting, right?
Exactly.
Like a machine like that, from the technology point of view, really interesting. And there are challenges, but that's our job.
Good stuff. So, we'll kick off then. We're at the very early stages of the production line here at this end. We've got a chassis in front of us here. Just talk us through this stage 1, effectively.
Okay, this is the start of the production or the assembly line, as you can see. So we start with the chassis, and then the axles comes through it. So we have our line where we try to go step by step farther, and then from the sides there come some systems or components from the side to the line. So to be able to prepare some work, so you don't have to do it in line.
So you got a lot of sub-assemblies off to one side.
Exactly. And so we have it on the right side and as well on the left side.
Oh, there's sub-assemblies on that side as well. So the main line itself is getting fed from both sides. So at the moment, we're talking chassis and axles, and then if we move up here, it starts to kind of look like a forager at this stage. The cab is introduced by the looks of things.
So that's the most obvious point here. So you see the cabin is on top, so it looks like a chopper, or it starts to look like a chopper, right? So this is the complicated thing when you are talking about the chopper. You have different systems you have to integrate. You have hydraulic, you have electronic, you have mechanical things. So, and you can see the hydraulic lines and so on. It's something which goes with every step farther. And and our work and our challenge is to get those systems integrated. And it has to work later on. Not only here, it has to work for the client, right?
And I would imagine as well, when you're working out the build order and the build method of these machines, trying to get everything on the line at the right time, in the right order, and then it's not in the way of the next process as well.
That's really demanding, and we're always talking about, like in the last 25 years, scaling up the capacity of the production. It's not that easy. So we had an old building in the past with not a proper line, and so we did it by hand, step by step. Now we have since 2013, our new building here, our proper line for the chopper. But when you increase the number of choppers, you have to increase the number of workers as well. So, and we need, like you said, we need skilled worker.
Definitely for something like this.
Exactly, because perhaps every chopper is different from the one you built before, and you have to have it in mind. And
well, that's it, because on the one line, obviously you build all the forages down the same line, And are Big M's built on this line as well?
Exactly, but what we are like building it in slots. So first, no, you only see the chopper.
Yeah.
And later on, you see the
Big
Big M.
M's.
So then everything will be arranged a little bit different.
Okay, so it's like reconfigured.
Exactly, because it's a different machine. It looks pretty similar, I would say.
Yeah,
but we all know it's totally different. So you have different stages, different pre-assemblies, and so on. So we have it like 2-3 times a year that we change the whole line, and then we are building the Big M, and later on the Big X.
Cool. And that, I suppose that'll all add to efficiency as well, making the most of this line, I suppose, as well.
Everything is in production. Everything is about efficiency and quality.
Exactly.
So, and everything we do should pay off on those both aims, right?
And it must be quite a challenge as well, because like every single forager that we're looking at, every Big X that we're looking at on this line, will be a different specification to what the customer wants.
It's possible, yeah. I'm a production guy, and I would like to have the same machine,
all the way down.
like all the year. But that's not how the market is working. So we want to satisfy our customer, and if the customer says no, I want to have something different, so we are able to build it.
Brilliant. So Thomas, we've fast forwarded a little bit. So what's happening at this stage? Where are we up to now?
So we were talking about the cabin. So it looked already like a chopper, and what you can see here is the preparation for the motor, the whole. I don't know how you call it, like.
Oh, so all the emissions treatment up
exactly.
there, engine, gearbox.
Exactly, with the engine together. So you can see how complicated it is. Like I said, with hydraulics and so on, with the whole cables, like put on the right thing, that it's not only for the way now, so it has to work on the field, like with power on.
Just building up in layers and layers and layers.
Exactly.
Yeah. Cool. You can really see the heart of the forager at this stage, can't you? You can really see into it, all the major components.
Yeah, we need the space, right? The worker needs the space to put everything in line, and you can see how complicated it is. So we need really qualified worker to put the right line to the right end, so that it works later on. Right?
Exactly. And how do you keep up quality? You know, what sort of quality control processes do you have along the way?
We do a lot. So I'm still thinking in the 25 years of the chopper we now have. So in the beginning, we did everything by hand, right?
Yeah.
So no, everything is about automation. Where we can automate, we automate. It's about data collection and assurance of quality. Not only in the end, we have our EOL at the end where we check everything, but we have to check it right now, because if we do a problem here, or we have a problem here, so later on we can't correct it anymore. So we do it permanently to be able to have those different systems on hydraulics, electronics, mechanics working together. So it's a lot we do, because otherwise we wouldn't have that liability and quality I think we have with this machine outside.
So effectively, it's constantly being checked all the way down the line.
Exactly.
Because you can't really afford to get to that end and find a problem.
So you see it, it's too complicated. So if we see that we have a problem here, in the best way we can correct it directly.
Is here.
And otherwise we will write it down and we have it later on to work on it if it's possible. Otherwise we have to correct it here, because later on it's too late.
And now at this stage, it's really looking like a forager, because we are getting to the heart of it. It'll be being inserted, the chopping cylinder.
Exactly. Now it starts. So you see, it comes from the pre-assembly.
We
were talking about it.
It
comes from the side. It comes in, and now it's connected together.
Yeah.
And we can go far on.
So how would you say the manufacturing processes have changed over the years?
Yeah, completely. Like I said in the beginning, in another old building, not a proper line. Everything was done by hand.
Yeah.
And today it's different. So the logistic process is totally different, and you have to organize it differently. The way we did it before, we built like 2 choppers a week. That's nothing compared to what we are doing right now.
How many are you building now?
Right now it's like 15, but we are able to build the the double
Right.
of it. So you need a totally different way of organizing your logistics, the way you manufacture the chopper, as well as other tools. We have digital planning tools. Like I said, we are collecting data and to be assured that the quality is delivered.
Yeah.
So it's totally different the way we built it like 25 years ago.
So as well as the manufacturing process is evolving over the years, how has the materials evolved over the years as well, you know, to the benefit of the Big X?
Not only the processes were changed, you're right, the material as well. So we have a Krone development process, we call it internally. So where the departments development, manufacturing, quality assurance, for example, work really highly integrated together.
Yeah.
So we do make our, for example, from the production side, our experiences that something doesn't work really good to assemble it, for example. So it's something that we give as an advice to the development department, and they will change it. So during the different development stages, it's not only the experience we have outside, so in the field from the customer, it's also things we experienced here in the manufacturing building, so that with every stage, development stage, the Häcksler or the chopper is getting better. With every development step, it's getting better.
Yeah. And how do you and your team feel, you know, knowing that these foragers are working all over the world? You know, they're coming from here in Spelle and they're going all over the world.
For me, and I think for everybody here, it feels like, it fills us up with great pride. So knowing you are part of the team, from those machines that contributes to global food supply and makes the farmers' life and work easier and better. So it's wonderful.
So we're now at we're at the end of the production line. It's pretty much almost complete.
So you see the tires are still missing.
They're
And
waiting
you
here.
can see that left on the right hand. So that's the next step.
And then once we get the tires on, what's through here? We've got end of line testing, have we, at this stage?
So this is the first time that the machine, you can hear the machine. So I would say that's the most impressive moment. If the assembly is completed and all the systems are working integrated together, so then we start the machine for the first time, and for everybody here, it's a wonderful feeling when you see the complicated way of manufacturing, and then the machine works, and you hear the voice, the noise. It's fantastic.
It lives.
It lives, exactly.
And as we can see now, on each wheel hub, you've got these these brackets connected, ready to go into the big
Exactly.
test
That's
area.
what's as a preparation for the next step, so that we can go to the last quality check, I would say.
Yeah, the major one.
The major one, and hopefully, and most of them, they go through. We have the green line, and then we can say another one is built.
That's another one done.
Exactly.
Brilliant. Well, Thomas, thank you very much for that little whistle-stop tour of the production line. I'm sure we could spend hours and hours in there if someone would allow us to, but we can't, unfortunately. But that's been absolutely fantastic. Up next, we're going to get a little bit more insight into production. I think we've got a little bit more on parts coming later. So yeah, all that still to come. Stay tuned. So folks, we continue with episode 2, and I'm now joined by Andreas Wilbas, who is effectively, he is Mr. Quality Control. Nothing gets past this guy on this production line. But he speaks German. I don't speak German. I barely speak English. So this is going to be fun, and to help us out, we have Mustafa, who's been looking after us all week. So Mustafa is going to translate, and we'll see what happens. It'll be fun. So first of all, quality control manager, what does that involve, especially on a scale such as this?
With a line like this, it's always a challenge to perfectly coordinate all the components so that the electrical components and the hydraulic components always work together seamlessly. It makes us proud when the machine is finished and comes out at the end as a final product without any errors. That's how we have very, very good goals around the world.
And how do you manage, because we've got a long line here, are the various stages of quality control? Do we tick this one off here and tick that one off there? Or do you just continually do it? How do you sort of manage the quality?
In our line, it's like this. We always have one quality inspector per line, one in assembly and one in the finishing area. The colleague who works in this department is knowledgeable about everything from electronics to weld seams to hydraulics.
And as well as managing the quality on the production line, how do you manage the quality of the materials coming into the factory as well? That must be quite a strict process.
That's where we have the incoming quality inspection. We order items as sample assemblies, as sample components. Then we do a complete inspection. We check the weld seams when we're dealing with welded assemblies. Or for electrical components, we measure them through. In Lingen, we have the Future Lab, where we validate individual components. That means electronic components, mainframes. We check whether the weld seams hold, whether they crack. 25 years ago, when we started here, we tried this out at the customer's site. Today, we test this internally within our company.
And I suppose in this day and age of uncertain times around the world, whether it's political or whatever is going on, is it better to have multiple locations around the world where you can purchase materials from?
It's always better to have at least two suppliers. One supplier drops out here, another can't deliver there or can't get the raw materials. We always have to be flexible so that we can deliver our customers' machines directly to them at any time.
And in terms of the actual production process here, how has that changed for you over the years?
When we started 25 years ago, it was all real manual work. We had to write everything down on paper and so on. We didn't have a database like we do today. Today we have databases. We can record everything in a sustainable way. It's easier for the customer today, if they have problems out in the field, to trace things quickly. Where do we need to be faster? Where can we react? Assembly itself, using the whole terminal we have today, 3D viewer, drawings, rotating, doing things, is much easier. Much easier. Of course, it was a huge challenge to build something like this. That included logistics, quality assurance, and design. Constant optimization was always necessary. We always had to get faster and faster, and the quality couldn't suffer as a result.
Well, that's it. It must be so, I suppose you could say, so complicated to get everything working in perfect synchronization. You know, from all the components, the raw materials coming in, the sub-assemblies, pre-assemblies, the fabrication, then it gets on the line, and then it all ends up that way.
It's extremely important and something we can really be proud of, that all the many different gears, as I like to personally call them, work together so incredibly closely and effectively. The most important and best thing for me, of course, is when we start assembling the machine up front and put it all together perfectly all the way to the back. The electrical components work together with the hydraulic components. Everything is processed cleanly. The machine goes through the end-of-line test stand and comes out without any errors. Then we can say that we all worked well together. We're proud of that, and it's honestly a bit of a goosebump moment to see the machine assembled so perfectly.
So finally then, we've just mentioned a little bit about what happens at the end, but just explain the end-of-line testing, especially what happens in that big test room over there.
The machine is essentially slowed down via the torque, and as a result, we have to put on more power. We check road driving, field driving, and the performance of various products. Basically, the entire machine is put through its paces, just like it would be in the field.
Good stuff. Well, thank you very much for the insight into getting this beast, this icon, finished, built, tested and ready for the customer. Mustafa, thank you very much for translating. We shall now move on. I think up next in episode 2, we're going to have a look at the brand new parts department here in Spelle at Krone. And then, still to come, we've got episode 3 still coming up yet, which will be out in the field. So loads more for us to get our teeth stuck into. Right folks, so far in episode 2 we have seen and spoke a lot about how the Big X forager is produced. Well, just as important as manufacturing the Big X, you've got to support it with service and parts. So that brings us neatly on to a brand new parts department here at Krone in Spelle. And I'm joined by Heine Brunning, who is going to take us on a tour of this place. And we've already had a little sneaky peek around here, and it is very, very, very impressive. Trust me, you don't want to miss a thing in the next few minutes, so stick around. So, Heine, first of all, tell us about this new facility, and then we'll go on a bit of a tour.
Yeah, the new facility, we built it because we had a very good business over the last years, and when they made the old facility, they built it up in 2005. And they had a turnover or a volume overall by something like 25 million. And later on, so we were growing up to a volume of 130 million within, let's say, 15, 18 years.
Right.
And so it was necessary to build a new facility for more parts, because service, as you said, is very important. But if you have a good service and no parts, it doesn't help. And so we took the decision, okay, we want to build something new, and we took the decision to make it, let's say, as modern as possible. So, and we changed from people coming to the parts to 95% of the parts coming to the people.
Coming to the people.
As we can,
as we'll find out as we go around. So we'll start our little tour now. So first of all, inbound, I presume? Inbound, yes, that's right. This is the area where the parts come into. And so we have 3 divisions of parts. Bulky parts, like over there. Then we have pellet parts or boxes. We will see that later on, the movement. And we have very small parts. And they bring all that over here and divide it into these 3 different divisions. And we are just walking around here right now. The spare parts facility is working. It's very busy as well.
It is. Of course, we are in the season right now.
Exactly. So everything comes in and then gets split off into its various areas where it's going to stay for a short time in this place.
Yeah. And it's pre-packed as far as possible. So we have a pack size over there. We have, we see it later on. We can make it also in wooden boxes, or we put that into our auto store for the very small parts.
So as much as possible, you get items pre-packed, so they're ready to go.
Ready to go, yes.
So there's no hanging about or waiting.
It's especially for forage harvesters, but also for balers or for the other big stuff, is time is money. So people, when something happens, it breaks down, and they don't expect it, so they need it directly.
Yeah.
And one of the craziest things I know, we even put parts with taxi to Ireland.
Really?
Really.
So if there's a really big emergency and the part really needs to be got somewhere very quick, you can sort it out as direct as that.
Yeah.
And can people also come into this part, you know, in the local area? Can you come and you know, pick up your own parts as well?
And they still do sometimes. So if you have a breakdown, sometimes the forage harvester as well, they are in contact with the dealer, because everything goes via dealer, of course. But the dealer said, hey, you can fix it yourself. I will make the order for you. You can take that part. The dealer makes the order, and the customer pick it directly at the front desk. Yeah. Or of course, as well as midnight, we have a picking room over there with a code they can go into and pick their part directly. Yes.
Great stuff. So whereabouts are we now, Heine?
This is what we call the bulky part storage. So all the big stuff, like
big awkward items.
Yeah. So we have special equipment over there just to move it. As you can see here, if we want to move over a little bit, everything, as you can see over here, is pre-packed.
Literally as far as the eye can see. And you make all the wooden packaging as well, do you, on site? Yeah.
Yes. So wooden package or out of paper, depending on how heavy it is, and
depending on the item.
If possible, we take paper, the big paper. Or if not, we go for wood.
I think this guy wants to come in here now.
Yeah, it's busy.
It is very busy around here.
Yeah, and we have to take care that you don't kill my turnover today.
Yeah, we don't want to ruin the turnover. Speaking of which, what's your turnover in parts in a busy season as we?
So, over the year, it's around 140, 150 million.
Right.
A busy day is between 450,000 and 1.2 million a day.
A day.
A day.
Turnover on parts.
Yes.
And that's euros, that is. Yeah, presumably.
Yeah. And this is also something you have to handle. And the facility is made for that. So you have some smooth days. You can put a lot of stuff in. But you also have days just bring that stuff out. And at 8 o'clock, you don't know what to have. You have to deliver at the afternoon at 3.
So you'll have to have a lot of flexibility in the system to handle peak times and troughs and all that kind of thing.
And every season is different.
Yeah.
So, and the peak times here go comparable to our service department. So in our service department, we collect the number of calls. So we have around a little bit more than 20,000 service calls worldwide. And the peak months are May, June, because 70% of the world, the season is going up there. So most of the machine population is starting there. Then the next peak is August, July, August in straw. And the last peak, of course, is corn season in the northern part of the world. September, October, November.
Okay.
And this is similar here. So you have the parts peaks a little bit later than the service calls.
Yeah. So as we're walking down here, this is more inbound components, is it, coming down this side?
This is for the stuff on the pallets, inbound for the pallets. So they made that over there, and you can see the box over there, and there's a material number on that, and it went to that frame over there. And so the frame recognized the material number. It knows this is box number, I don't know what, and the material inside is, I don't know what will show up now. It looks like needle racks.
Yeah.
And then the system knows, okay, this box I have to put over there in that storage.
Right, so this is for kind of like your medium items.
Yeah.
Right.
And these are our under pallet carrier, because here we are in the 100% automated area right now.
Yeah.
The under pallet carriers are moving all that stuff.
So how many of those do you have wandering around the place?
Yeah, 10.
10 of those?
Yeah.
Right.
10 of those, yes.
And they're all electrified and...
Yes.
Yeah.
And this is also one of the things we had in mind. Make it as much modern as possible.
Yeah.
And it saved a lot of space. If you would make everything ready for forklifts, you would need much more space for that. So this is much more space efficient.
And how are these navigating around the place?
It looks like zip lines into the floor.
Oh, in the
it's not.
concrete.
It's wireless.
Right.
You can see the reflectors over there at each corner. They are searching for their space by reflector.
All right. Clever. I bet that was a challenge in itself, getting all that to work.
You need a lot of wireless capacity, and we learned much more about wireless when we knew in the past. No, yes.
So this is the pallet area, which is, I mean, tell us about this area because it's massive.
So the bulky parts where we have been is just between 5 and 7% of the movements we have. 20% of that is these pallets, and if you look into there, so we have a storage around 22,000 pallets, and this facility is 25 meters high and 155 meters long. 3 lines, and you can see these things moving like over there, picking all that stuff. So we have the capacity of 21,500 pallets.
Wow.
Over here.
And do you have sort of like priority areas? You know, for the most used components, will they be towards this end? Or?
Yes. It's a so-called ABC classification. So parts like you use often.
Yeah.
And this can vary by season. So you need, of course, maize knives in autumn. You need grass knives in spring. So the grass knives in spring, they would lay here in the front part of this facility, and maybe in autumn they are laying in the back part.
Oh, okay.
No, they are waiting for each other. So
They've got a queue. There's a traffic jam.
oh, it's always some
It's just so impressive, though. It's really, I mean, apart from in here, it's actually quite quiet walking around. It's very quiet. This is probably the noisiest area that there is.
But here's nobody.
Yeah.
Except us, right?
That's it. And presumably, like we've sort of seen around the place, you've got inbound parts into here and then out again.
Right. And so this works here. So we have 3 main lines, and always the right side is inbound and the left side is outbound. So it means this box here with, what is it inside? Pickup tines.
Yeah.
They will go, there's an order on that, and the next under pallet carrier will pick it and bring that into the consolidation zone.
Right, so this will go into effectively like the picking area now, brought to the people.
Yeah.
They will pick out the number of times they want, and then this pallet will come back into here.
comes on that side, back again, and goes back into this place.
Right.
As the system calculates that forage.
It must be quite, another challenge, managing inventory and what's actually in here and where it is.
Actually, we have around 53 million of euros here.
Right.
In the peak time, so before let's say the main season starts, we are around 60 million euros of parts here. And this is also, when let's say the interest rates were low, nobody was taking care for that. But now, of course, it's also a hell of an amount of money you're storing
It's a
here.
lot.
But this facility, I always call it the mother facility, so the mother spare parts facility.
Yeah.
We have to have more or less everything. So we still have.
To service the world.
You have spoken to Peter Weiss about V8 and V12 and all that stuff. They are not longer developed anymore, of course, but we still have parts.
Yeah.
Because the machines has to keep running.
Exactly.
So and we have around 60,000 different parts positions over here.
Yeah. That's it. You'll have to have a lot of legacy parts, won't you? A lot of older parts.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And we don't have we don't say, hey, we store for 10 years or 15 years or whatever. We always calculate by say, okay, how high is the amount and do we still have the possibility to get it from the suppliers? So we have had the inbound, you've seen the inbound, and with our, pickup times, we have also seen the first part for the outbound, and the outbound goes into this consolidation zone. So the guys have here, they get the pallets from the under pallet carrier, and they get also the small boxes from the auto store over there, and so they mix that together. As you can see, different sizes of boxes for different sizes of parts, of course, and we do that here in this consolidation zone.
So this is where the biggest human element is. It's the final picking and packing part of it, whereas the rest of it is pretty much automated. Yeah.
93% is automated.
Unreal. Now, there's another bit that I really want to have a look at, which is the small parts, which is that just through here? Can we go up there?
Yeah,
Can we have
of
a look
course.
at that?
We have stairs over here.
This, everybody, check this. This is impressive, this. It's just like a little army, isn't it, of robots, a swarm of robots.
It is.
But we'll find out more when we get up there.
It's a so-called auto store.
Auto store.
Auto
right.
store, yeah.
So this is it. We're on the back side of it now.
Yes. You are where nobody else usually is, because this is a special area, let's say.
Right.
But from here we have the best overview.
Absolutely.
So you can see here the robots running over there and the boxes as well, and so you get an impression about what's in here.
Yeah.
So we have up to 16 boxes over each other. Like this is one of these boxes.
Yeah.
So they are able to handle 32 kilogram, and we also can divide them.
All right, so you can have little sections.
Yes, right, in little sections. And every box is a so-called handling unit, and every box has an ID. And the system knows, okay, this box is for, I don't know, ceilings or whatever, ID 4711, and I put that over there into the system, also with the ABC classification. In this kind, ABC works like A is laying on the top, B in the middle, C at the bottom.
Right. Because these are literally stacked on top of each other, aren't
Yes.
they? So when these little robots, these little fellas come along,
Yeah.
and if they want something at the bottom, they've got to pick a box out, have they?
They dig it out. As you can see over there, there are some boxes are out. They digged it out, and it means somewhere in front of that there is a box, I don't know, 7 or 8 layers, levels down there. And you can see there, and they can go with their arms
all the way to the bottom.
All the way to the bottom.
So they've got their own little crane, inbuilt crane, to get down to the bottom.
Yeah.
It's unreal, isn't it? And like I say, you have your lesser picked items at the very bottom, your most popular on the top, but and then it'll change throughout the season.
Yeah, it can happen depending on the season. It's not changing all the way around.
Yeah.
But
it'll probably slowly evolve over the season.
That's what it is. And so the system can optimize itself by night. And also it starts, as we just a few minutes ago, we had lunch break. There was nobody here, but the robots
were
moving.
still working, yeah.
Yes, they were preparing.
How many robots are in there?
15.
15 little robots,
Yes.
and they're all electric, presumably,
Yes.
powered, got the little charging stations.
Yeah.
And can they, if there's, obviously there'll be orders coming in, can they start preparing orders, before they even get to where they're being picked and packed?
Yeah.
Can they start preparing?
They can do, and this is what the system is made for, being prepared. And our challenge was when we moved over last year into this facility to make it happen that the preparing is possible, but what we call ad hoc, if somebody shows up and says, hey, I want that part, to do that as well. because then you are disturbing the system.
They don't like being interrupted. Don't annoy the robots. But you can do that though. If you do need an ad hoc part, you just enter it into the system. It's like, they'll go and find it.
And so we defined ad hoc and taxi parts and air freight parts, all that on the different stations of the consolidation zone or at the auto store ports.
Right.
So like an emergency case.
Yeah.
Then the system breaks on these cases or moves the order over to another port, and they say, okay, I'll do the emergency case first.
Get that done.
Yeah.
So if one of these robots had to dig apart, say from the very bottom, from the very furthest distance, how long would that actually take?
So maybe out of this corner down bottom over there. So the theoretical time, and I never measured that out, but the theoretical time is 2 minutes 30 seconds.
Right.
Because the robots support each other.
They're helping each other out, aren't
digging
they?
out, yeah.
And are they constantly learning as well?
Yes.
Yeah.
This is a perfect system for explaining AI.
That is AI in motion, that, isn't it? Right there. That's a great example of it, and a great example of how it can be used as well.
Close to 50,000 boxes are inside the system.
Yeah.
And the amazing thing, it's scalable. I don't know if you've recognized it. So it is going around the pillars, you know?
Okay, yeah.
And we can still, and this is also part of the planning of the system has been to, if we, as I said, from the old spare parts facility to this one, there was no extension possible.
No, that was maxed out.
Here we can go from over there 3 lines to 10 lines. We can go with this system wherever we want to go. We can, let's say, mirror the bulky parts system as well. So we could let's say blow up this to the double.
So you've got a lot of future proofing in here.
Yeah.
So Heine, I believe you're a farmer as well, aren't you?
I do. I am. Yes.
Yeah? In the local area?
Yeah, it's 40 minutes by tractor from here.
40 minutes by. Did you come on your tractor today?
Today I did.
Did you? You're joking?
It's staying in front of the technology center.
Is that old Fen?
Yes.
That 600 series?
Yes, that's mine.
Brilliant. Awesome.
No money for new stuff.
Spent it all on this.
It was Bernard's money, to be honest.
Yeah. So as a farmer then, you'll really appreciate something like this when it comes to service and support and backup and parts.
So my apprenticeship 30 years ago was as a dairy farmer. So I was, and I was working for a contracting business as well. So my brother's leading a contracting business, or he's dispatching all the guys in the contracting business. And I started baling and forage harvesting in '94 or something like that. Then I made my apprenticeship on a dairy farm and grew up on a dairy farm. And I was going onto high school and all that stuff. And I always thought I would go back to the dairy farm. And I started with Krone 2005 in marketing. And I'm still here now since 20 years.
Here. Must be loving it.
But in 2005, I started demoing V8 and V12 Big X. So this was the first. And so I knew from the dairy farmer or from the dairy side, okay, what's the result I want to have? And I knew from the technical side, what's happening if no parts are coming, no service is happening.
Yeah.
And believe me, the V8, V12 times, we needed more service than today.
So you've seen it and lived it all. You've seen a lot of aspects of the business.
And then I was 10 years in head of product management and responsible for the Big X as well. And so
wow.
I know a lot of the history. And so I'm in charge from this job since 5 years right now.
Hang on, let's get past this one.
So let's say I made the complete chain.
Yeah.
And so let's say the Big X, and this is for sure one thing, it lifted us to another service level. And the other products are participating out of that.
Exactly. Well, that's it. Especially with a product like the Big X, it is complex. It's a complex product to keep serviced and looked after.
Half of the service team, so we have 9 or 10 different product lines.
Yeah.
But half of the service team is for self-propelled.
Right, so Big X, big end. Anything with an engine, basically.
Yes, and they pushed, let's say, the service level, the understanding, the training, also digital tools we have today, so like decision trees, how do you go to an after treatment problem issue, all that stuff. And let's say the Big X trained us over the last 25 years regarding all these points.
Right, so it really pushed forward the service inside of it.
Yeah.
You had to do it.
Yeah, and the spare parts as well. And so the speed of the spare parts. So here's a window for a forage harvester too. I don't know who breaks 2 windows.
Well, they've done well. What would be your most popular item?
So the most used item are more blades for mower knives.
Yeah.
For forage harvesters, is also knives and shear bars.
Right. So just those really high-wearing items.
Yes, I would say around 40,000–50,000 a year.
Wow.
But don't don't having that exactly in mind, because this is also a challenge. You never know. Do you have, let's say, a rainy season with a lot of crops outside in the fields? Do you have a dry season? So sometimes we can feel, even here in orders in the spare parts, that it's outside the machines are not working too much, because we had it 5 years ago. Everything dried out.
Yeah.
You can feel it here as well, and also in turnover. So we are always related still to farming, to business, and to nature as
You
well.
literally have to go with the seasons.
Yeah.
Great stuff. Well, Heine, we've come to the end.
Outbound.
That's it. We're in the outbound area now, ready to go onto trucks and wherever and vans around the world. Because, like, you know, we've got to bear. This is a global company, isn't it? These could be going anywhere.
Yeah.
So, Heine, thank you very much for that whistle-stop tour of this. We could probably chat for quite a long time here about what's going on. And that brings us to the end of episode 2 of our focus on the icon that is the Big X self-propelled forager. But do not forget, we've still got episode 3 coming up, where we'll be out in the field with the Big X. And if you've not seen it already, go check out episode 1 of the Big X icon of agriculture, which is where we're going to the history and evolution of the Big X. So lots for you to get your teeth stuck into. We'll catch you in a bit.